There. Now, I did not get this hung, obviously, because I haven't done the shoring it up yet. So, I'm going to go grab my scissors or utility knife. There. I'm back. This is my knife. Now this thing does a lot of different things. When it shuts, it'll cut the, like toothpicks for crafts projects. It'll cut craft sticks. So you don't have to have a big mess, you know, trying to whittle it down little by little with a knife or whatever. This thing just cuts right through it. Even has extra blades in the handle. Got this one from, believe it or not, Publishers Clearing House, you know, when they give you the flyers, and it was 20 bucks back then. I've had it a few years. Absolutely love it. Worth every penny. Got my sister one through a magazine. I think it was Dr. Leonard's or something like that. And it was on sale for like 13, 14 bucks. But they don't seem to carry them anymore. So I'm just going to cut off little pieces just to fit in these gaps. We'll kind of eyeball it. And it just cuts right through. Of course, this is basically styrofoam. It's just pipe insulation. And bada bing, it works. Yeah, there we go. That'll do it. And handy dandy E6000. Stinks, but it's not bad. Figure I'll make this video while my lunch is bubbling on the stove, trying to heat up my leftover pasta dish. There. There's one. More paper towels. Lord knows I can't get in to do anything without getting it all over my hand. And gotta stir my pasta. Turn that down. All right. All right. Okay. I even taped the other sides so that it would hold those seams that I had to hold together. There. I like this because it acts basically like a glorified pair of scissors. And does a really decent job. Probably make it a lot easier for me if I just do things this way. I actually had to wash this off. I have allergies and asthma, and I tend to be susceptible to dusty things. So I make sure that I do not bring anything in, especially to my little apartment here, where it could make me sick. Because cleaning up a room so that it's safe can be a pain in the keister. I don't like doing basically a spring clean every time something gets brought in I shouldn't be around, so I tend to make sure things are washed. I can shower easier than I can clean my room up. So technically, even though I get into it, it's easier for me to clean myself off than trying to clean the house. And then I take my allergy pills and etc. I used to get in trouble as a kid because I didn't like to sleep in the, because you don't get hot, didn't have air conditioning. Of course, it was 70s, 80s, whatnot. I was born in 70, so. Oh, I'm not done yet. I would, when it was hot, I would go and sleep outside. My parents would get irritated and say, well, why didn't you just open your window? If you're going to sleep outside, you should have just opened your window. But not when the pollen was out. And I mean literally coating everything in green, yellowy gunk. So I would sleep outside, I'd come in, shower, whatnot. Because back then, for whatever reason, I didn't pester my parents for medicine. I just dealt with my allergies. And I'm so glad now that, because I started getting it, when you start earning money or whatever, you pay for your own things. And I would get my own allergy medicines, and they wouldn't work more than an hour or two. Even the 24-hour expensive stuff you get at a pharmacy nowadays doesn't really work for me that well, so I tend to, now I have air conditioning and that sort of thing. I'm not a little kid anymore, so I make sure I have the medicines on hand that I need. But anyways, gotta go stir that pasta. Okay, coffee's done. Now you can go get cold. There. Sorry, back and forth here, back and forth. Now I'm back. Figure it's easier for me not to drag the camera back and forth. At least you don't have to see me stirring a pot of noodles. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I have enough, because I'm putting them in every little gap so that this thing is absolutely 100% as sturdy as I can make it. Oh, itchy nose. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Of course, we will see once I get these done. And then I'll finish gluing them. And note to self next time. Recap the glue when you're not using it for any length of time. It stinks. Works great. I showed a video. My first video has the Japanese chin, Hazel. She was having trouble. Every time she'd lower her head to eat, she would literally, her rear end would come up off the floor and she'd tip over. Well, I wasn't sure. She'd been to the vet. There wasn't nothing seriously wrong or anything. I think she's just a little arthritic or whatever. So we took care of that problem, but I thought, would it make it easier for her if she's not standing on her head trying to eat, so I didn't have raised dishes for a little dog that's 8 or 10 inches tall. So I hope you can see that. That is a dish I made. Goodwill. This bowl was separate from this pedestal. This pedestal, if you look at it, is an upside down sundae dish. And I use the 6000 to glue the sundae dish to the bottom of this little glass bowl, and it works like a charm. I recommend it to anybody with little dogs that they need a little bit of a raised surface to eat, so that if they are a little top heavy and they don't sit right, that will work. Or at least it did with mine. It might not work with everybody, but certainly worked with my kids. And I love it. And of course it's glass. Cleans up easily. Not a big deal. So, I love it. And she likes eating out of it too. And she doesn't tip over anymore, because I think it was causing stress to her little joints and bones. It was one of the things that I could do myself that didn't cost anything. Or, well, it cost something, but it didn't cost an arm and a leg. I couldn't afford normal prices. I'm very frugal, even if I had millions of dollars in my pocket, which I do not. I do tend to try to save a penny. So, and it worked so well for her that well, note to self, remember to put that down, Father, so as not to be sticking out when I go to put it on the wall. This won't be able to be put up on the wall until all this dries. I like to let it sit for a good 24 hours anyway. I don't think you have to, but I just don't want to deal with it for 24 hours. And I don't have the hardware yet to hang it, so it really doesn't matter. So that's fine. But that raised bowl is one of my pride and joy. That's one of the things I am so proud of. It really is. It really, she took right to it. Took me a while to get my min pin to use the little doggy stairs there, where, you know, you use the little set of steps for them to get on furniture, because we always allowed them on the furniture. I don't have a problem with that. But what I did have a problem with was his not being able to get up there. He's 14. He's not quite as spry as he used to be. And so, took a while. I had to pick him up, hold him by the ribs, around his middle, around up by his ribs. And I had to hold him and walk him up the steps a couple of times. Then he got the idea, and he's been great. He really has. See if that's gonna do it. I don't think I put these all below the line of, you know, the flat surfaces, so that it won't hinder it when it's hung, but if I have to, I'll whittle it down. Oop, missed one. Almost. And here we go. There. I think that does it. And cap. I've been doing some of my own DIYs here for a while. That's done. We will let that do its thing. Now, there's a little hazelnut. And there's my pot of, whoops, my finger's in the way. There's my pot of pasta. Put you down there. I know you're not looking at anything, but I've got to stir it up. Shut that off. Put in some more of my Alfredo. I likes me some Alfredo. I likes me food in general. Alrighty. Now, wanted to show some, this video is over 15 minutes. Oh, that'll keep people from watching it. Here we go. This is my room, such as it is. These are nightstands that my parents had. I traded with my mother. She said it was okay because I wanted to restore them. I could not use stain. They were just, one was stained, the other one was just plain wood. It hadn't been finished in any design. But she had dumped so much stuff on it, and being that it wasn't sealed, it soaked in, there was rings and whatnot. So I decided I would paint it. So I painted the drawer fronts themselves a pale yellow. And I did the tops and the knobs and whatnot, as you can see, white. And I have a second one. So I had sanded them each to prepare them and whatnot, and to remove as much of the stains and whatnot. But you just couldn't sand it enough to get the stains out. So it was my little DIY project to give it a facelift. Same with this stand here I use for my television. I got the little autumn leaves from stickers that they were selling at Walmart and put it on there. Underneath is just DVDs and videos. Well, there we go. Floor's not level, so it doesn't sit well. And then the thing I'm most proud of, this is the bed itself, is the bed that my father inherited from his parents. My father died a couple years back. And he never got to see what I accomplished with this bed. But it was black, it's iron. But it had been chipped over the years. There was more paint off of it than there was on it. And I didn't want it to, because it started to rust in spots. So I did not want it to get ruined because it belonged to my father's parents. You know, I think she probably gave birth to my father and his sister in this bed. And that's the headboard. So, and it's also done with that pale yellow and white, because it has a seashell decoration at the bottom. And I used white Rust-Oleum paint. I hand painted that part. And I couldn't have been happier with the results. Absolutely. I found it to be beautiful. I like it, and I guess that's what matters. So, I never thought to film those things when I was doing them. But that's all right. Well, since it's lunchtime, it's 12:30 almost, I'm going to get some victuals. And we will wait for this to be done enough, dry enough, hopefully in 24 hours. My sister's out doing some shopping, and she will bring me back the hardware to hang these. It'll be washers and screws, because we all know you put a screw through this plastic, it'll just snap off the instant you put weight. And I don't have, obviously it's not going to hold, you know, hundreds of pounds, obviously, but it's going to hold some knickknacks. And since I don't want them to break, I want it to be safe. We'll do what we got to do. So, there we go. Oops. Darn it, keep putting my fingers in there. Thank you for watching. Bye.